A full house of guests joined the Pancyprian Association of America on March 9th at the York Hilton to celebrate the organization's 40th anniversary and also to honor with the Lifetime Achievement Award Greek Cypriot American businessman and philanthropist Constantinos Iordanou, chairman and CEO of Arch Capital Group Limited. The event, which also served as a fundraiser for the Pancyprian, raised $1.5 million, much of which will be used to purchase a new community center for the Pancyprian and revamp the present one in Astoria. $500,000 were raised from attendees and sponsors of the event, which was double matched by the honoree, Mr. Iordanou, and Mr. Nikos Mougeris, president and CEO of Mana Products. Guests were welcomed by Mr. Nicolas Karagostas, who talked about the important contributions of the honoree as well as of the Pancyprian, while a greeting message was also conveyed by William Casey, a longtime friend and colleague of Mr. Iordanou at Arch Capital Group, while the honoree was presented by the president of the Pancyprian, Philip Christopher. A short film highlighting the life of Mr. Iordanou was also presented, which also included remarks from the presidents of the various divisions of the Pancyprian. The many achievements in the philanthropic contributions of Mr. Iordanou were praised by all speakers. Mr. Iordanou came to America in the early 70s seeking the American dream, and like every other immigrant, he started from zero and worked his way up with determination, doing different jobs and at the same time attending university. He holds an aerospace engineering degree from New York University. Arch Capital Group Limited, where Mr. Iordanou is the chairman of the board as well as the president and chief executive officer of the company, is a Bermuda public limited liability company which writes insurance and reinsurance on a worldwide basis through operations in Bermuda, the United States, Canada, Europe, Australia, and South Africa, with a focus on specialty lines. Prior to joining Arch as one of its founders, he held senior executive positions with American International Group, Berkshire Hathaway, and Zurich Financial Services. Currently, he also serves as a director of Verisk Analytics, Incorporated. During a very emotional acceptance speech, Mr. Iordanou talked about his early days in the U.S. and specifically talked about family values and how his parents played an important role in his life, and more importantly, how much he was influenced in gaining determination for success. He also talked about his early days as a member of the Pancyprian, an organization which he holds very close in his heart and which he has been generously supporting for many years. He stressed that it is very important to give back, and especially for causes and organizations which serve through their activities the Greek and Cypriot culture and Hellenic values. Following the award presentation, Mr. Iordanou was joined on the stage by his lovely wife Marianne and his mother and his daughters, who were offered flowers by the presidents of the Pancyprian Women's Issues Network and the Pancyprian Choir, Dr. Dia Christodoulidou and Mrs. Ismini Michaels.
Dino, my good friend and longtime supporter, let me just first congratulate you for your very inspirational speech. And you are someone who puts, how does it go? You put your money where your mouth is?
Yeah, something like that. Something like that, yes.
So how does it feel?
It feels great. I think I've been fortunate and been blessed to run a great company, and we have been very successful. And a part of the culture that the family has is, if you can afford it, you can always, give back to society. And what a better place to give back to your own people, to the Cypriot community, who has done so much for me and so many others when we were in need. And now it's our turn to return the favor.
Now, you became very emotional when you started talking about your father, and you brought tears to my eyes because my father came to this country with nothing, and he made something, but of course he lost it all. So you brought me some personal memories.
Well, my father gave us the character, the work ethic. He prepared us to have the opportunity to achieve something. So when you look at your success, you got to understand where that inspiration came from, and it came both my mother and my father. My mother was the day-to-day cop, checking on us, we've done homework and have we done well in school and all that. My father was more setting goals and make sure you achieve your goals. And we learned a lot from both of them. And they gave us unconditional love, and also they gave us a lot of guidance to make sure that, we can succeed in life. And I attribute a lot of my success to those values that came from the home.
And those are values that all Greek Cypriots share. It's the good old timers' values, right?
It's not just the Greek Cypriots. It's the Greek community. I mean, it's the Hellenic culture. We believe in family. We believe in values. And at the end of the day, we are very, very hard workers as a race. And for that reason, I think you see so many successful Greek Americans.
I'm going to ask you a business question now. You're a businessman. You've been around for many, many years. How do you see the economy here in the U.S.? Do you think it's doing better? It's doing worse? You have more challenges now than before?
Well, the economy is more challenging. Some of the policies at the Federal Reserve and in Washington, they're not pro-business, and for that reason, I think the GDP growth is more in the 1.5% to 2% range, which is not good enough to have a vibrant economy. But I think we're on a path that is going to correct itself. I'm hopeful that when we get a new administration in Washington, they will try to understand that is businesses that create jobs, not government who creates jobs. And if they can support business activity, then we can create jobs. Take the example of Arch. I started the company 14 years ago. We had $1 billion of capital and 20 employees. Today we are $8.5 billion market cap. We have 2,000 employees, and our average salary, without the bonuses we pay, is $138,000 per person. Those are very, very good middle-class jobs, and there is 2,000 families for all those employees that work for Arch that they can enjoy middle life because of what we have created. So if you multiply that by hundreds and thousands of corporations, that's when you're going to get America, going in the right direction, in my view.
Yes. And finally, I would like to once again thank you personally and on behalf of all of us at AKTINA, because without your support, we would not be able to organize our annual activities, our concerts, and our folk arts programs. And I thank you for being there for us.
It's our pleasure. Your cause is just, and your cause is important for the community. So we don't mind supporting that cause.
Thank you.
You're quite welcome.
Philip, congratulations and celebrations. A beautiful event tonight as the Pancyprian honored philanthropist Dino Iordanou. And of course, you're celebrating how many years of the Pancyprian?
40 years.
40 years.
Actually 41, but it's a 40th anniversary. You know very well because you were part of it. The Pancyprian Association and its history is very closely related to the tragedy of Cyprus. After the Turkish invasion, we founded this organization. Today we have 5 divisions, we have 3 chapters, and we are the largest Greek Cypriot organization in the United States. We are very proud of what we have accomplished over the past 40 years. And it's a great event tonight honoring Dino Iordanou, who was one of our founders and one of our first soccer players. And this is the American dream, how a soccer player that came from Cyprus, working as a cook, became the chairman and CEO of Arch Insurance. It's an unbelievable story, and it's a story of the Pancyprian.
Anything else you would like to share with us as far as the Pancyprian?
Well, I think we, as the song says, the record shows, we took the blows and we have done our job. Thank you.
Great job and congratulations.
Thank you.